Hello and welcome to the forest. It's a very nice winter weather day with some light snowfall. Of course, perfect conditions to talk about cameras in. And well, the point of interest today is the Canon Powershot G11, a 10 megapixel CCD sensor camera from the year 2009. The Canon Powershot G cameras have become quite popular these days. And well, I have used two other models, the G5 and the G7. The G5 is a very fun vintage digicam. It's very advanced. I mean, it has advanced features, and the image quality is quite nice too for 5 megapixels. But it's a bit bulky and slow to use, so it's not as practical as an, let's say, everyday camera to bring with you. The G7 is much better in that aspect. It's much smaller, it's faster, feels like a modern camera basically. There is one thing I don't like about it though, and that is that they removed the flippy screen from the G6. And well, they didn't reintroduce it before the Canon G11, and that's why I started searching for a bit newer models like the G11 and G12. And after the G12, I think they don't have the CCD sensors anymore. Not that it actually matters that much, but I do like them for video especially. The G11 shares many nice features with the G7, such as an optical lens stabilizer, built-in ND filter, manual settings, flash hot shoe, an optical viewfinder, among many other things. Many things have also been improved. On top of the camera, there's an extra wheel for changing the exposure compensation. Also, like general things like the speed and handling have been improved. The lens is slightly wider, and also you can get RAW files without using hacks. They are not enabled by default on the G7, but with some hacks you can access them. You don't have to do this anymore on the G11. And of course the grand feature I was talking about, the flippy screen. Although it can also be a downside because it does make the camera slightly bulkier. This screen on this model has a reputation of failing over time. It doesn't like fold properly back to the body, or it can start losing connection from what I heard. So that's something to keep an eye open for when shopping for these. Fortunately, I don't have any such problems with my camera. The upsides still outweigh the downsides, I would say, because it's a very nice feature. You can use it for reaching angles that are normally quite difficult to reach, or you have to bend in weird ways. So it does help with the ergonomics. Despite all of these improvements, I still prefer the Canon G7. And well, the reason for this is quite simple. The images look better from the G7, well, at least to me. I like the colors more. The colors on the G11, they look a bit washed out. I don't know if it's a good description, but they don't look as pronounced. It could be because of the noise reduction. The Canon G11 has much more cleaner files. You see much more noise even at the base ISOs on the G7. I mean, that also adds character to the images, but it's possible that the color reproduction suffered when they decided to have more cleaner images. And well, Canon is known for this, for having quite heavy noise reduction and trying to make the photos look very clean. They were already known for this when the G7 was released. I don't know, maybe they got worse over the years. Now, of course, this is a very subjective thing. I mean, I like the colors more from the G7, maybe someone else will like the G11 more, so it's really up to each and every one to check the images and see which camera they think produces better photos. Despite my disliking of the image quality on the G11, I would still recommend it because it's a very nice camera. I mean, it's modern, it's easy to use, fast to use, and also it has a CCD sensor if that's important. So yeah, I would definitely recommend it. I mean, try it out if you can find it for a good price. What about the video mode on the G11? Well, there is one, and that's that basically. They haven't really prioritized it in any way. For example, they haven't made any improvements since the G7, and that's like 3 models back. I mean, there's no G8, there's a G9 and 10, so 3 models in Canon way of counting. In fact, they have removed options for video. You have on the G7 one higher resolution mode available. Sure, it is lower FPS, but still it's there as an option. The video mode available on the G11 is, well, it's VGA 640 by 480 auto everything. I guess with hacks you can get more options available. Haven't tried the hacks yet on this camera, or if I don't know if there are they even available hacks for this one. I really need to check it up. Also, the video quality, it is much smoother than the G7. I guess it's the same thing as with the images. They have applied a lot of noise reduction, which in my opinion doesn't look so nice. I think the video from the G7 is much nicer. It looks like a vintage digicam basically, while the G11 looks a bit plasticky, fakeish maybe. I don't know. Again, it's my personal interpretation, so don't go wild in the comments. Or actually go wild in the comments. It's good for, I mean, the algorithm, I suppose. But still, you could use the G11 for some, let's say, vintage vlogging. It does have the flippy screen, so it's quite nice for recording yourself. I have no idea what the microphone sounds like. You cannot plug in one, so there's that. And there's a dog walker coming. I need to walk in the other direction. But I can do one demonstration video here to see how it is. So we find the right mode. There we are, and flippy screen, recording, yeah, recording the GoPro. And now let's turn it to myself like so. Yeah, now I have the GoPro and the G11. Now we'll see how the sound, what the sound is. And actually there's a lot of background noise in this location. Also the snow might hit the microphone on either camera, but yeah, could do some vintage vlogging with this camera, I suppose. Not too bad, at least the image quality. It's very convenient to be able to see yourself while recording. Yeah. Okay, let's stop it.